Oh my God, like he is playing at an MVP level.
Last week, I should have went into a little bit more detail, and I'm going to take a minute or two and explain myself. I made a comment last week that I said Dak Prescott is by far having the best season of his career. He looks more mobile. He looks more youthful. He's throwing the ball with conviction. Last two games, Prescott is 49 for 69, given 71% of his passing completions, totaling about 556 yards with 7 TTs. But the big thing is this, 0 interceptions. Dak's passing 1,356 yards. He's got 10 touchdown passes, and he's got only 3 interceptions on the year, completion-wise at 73%. And his rushing attempts are 12, so he's moving when he has to move. He is having the season of his life, and it's because we have what you said, Javvante Williams, with a guy in the backfield that can take the ball and rip out 66 yards. They have to protect for the run.
It reminds you of his rookie season when they had Zeke as a rookie and Dak as a rookie. And we can't forget, like, Dak had no CeeDee Lamb after early week 3, when he went down with the high ankle sprain. He's doing this without his top weapon. So Pickens stepped up, Ferguson stepped up, 6 receptions, 114 yards. So Dak's doing this with a group of guys that not household names, and that impresses me the most, that Dak can throw those kind of numbers up with his crew, with no offensive line. Yeah, we have a good running game, but no offensive line, and a bunch of receivers that we didn't know who they're going to be at the beginning of the year. But Tyler Smith is a household name because he's one of the best in the league. Yeah, he ran a 4.44 40-yard dash with Chris Carter.
You know what his biggest impressive play is when they had, I think it was an offside call, and Dak and him, for not playing all season together, they were able to recognize, hey, listen, we got a free play here. And they were able to connect on a broken play for about, 20, 25 yards downfield. So this kid's a good ball player.
Does Javvante Williams, not to take anything away from Javvante, but is he that good of a runner without an offensive line that's performing like it is right now? Dak, is he having an MVP year? Some have even already thrown out the MVP letters for Dak this early, the way he is playing, to your point, Lombardi. But does he do that without that offensive line performing against these supposed defensive lines like the Jets and the Packers?
There's no defensive. I mean, we don't have an offensive line right now. Javvante Williams ran for 100. I think JP said this. He ran for 135 yards. But focus on this. These guys didn't even have a uniform last week. We needed 4 guys that said, hey, can you play football on Sunday?
And my point, Lombardi, there's been no drop-off. You lose that many starters, coaching. And these guys come in, and there's no drop-off.
I'll agree with Jerry Jones. It's coaching. When Dak Prescott drops back to throw, he gets it out quick. He's not holding on to the ball. And if he is holding on to the ball, he's bootlegging out away from the pressure. Javvante Williams is running through people. Like, he's not a running back.
You're not seeing necessarily huge holes.
Yeah, we'll have to look up his stats, but I think run after contact, I'd love to see how many average yards that is, because like, he is just the one that he ran for like 50 yards plus, he was people dragging his jersey down. Like, he was like on the offensive line. He was going through them and getting killed. And then he somehow popped out and then ran away.
We have not seen in Dallas for a long time a runner that runs north and south. And I think what you're seeing is that this kid, Javvante Williams, and I'm not blowing him up to be something he's not, but this kid, Javvante Williams, is a tough kid. He's up the middle, hitting a pocket, hitting a hole, and onto the secondary. So he's the type of runner that's going to be very successful, I think, in Dallas.
All right, yeah, and maybe a blessing in disguise, having Lamb go down with the injury and these other players stepping up. Now you get Lamb back, hopefully, in the coming weeks, and now hopefully you get a cohesive unit really playing together, and Dak can pick and choose. All right, gentlemen, looking now at the Panthers. We are facing a familiar friend in a running back who had a great week last week. Rico Dowdle led all rushers last week with 206 yards, an average of 9 yards per carry.
I mean, he totally manhandled the Dolphins defense, and the Dolphins don't have a horrible defense, but yeah, he totally just took advantage of it. Our defense right now, our rushing defense, is ranked 23rd in the NFL. They allow 127 yards per game. So that doesn't make me feel too great, because we talked about the last couple of weeks that we feel good about the Cowboys rush defense with Kenny Clark and those guys, but we are dead last in the NFL in total defense, in passing defense. Passing defense, we allow 284 yards per game. So Bryce Young, we can't overlook him as well, because he's having a good year for himself. They're kind of in our ballpark right now for record wise. So Again, this Idol does scare me, but I think Bryce Young, with being better with accuracy than Justin Fields was last week, he definitely scares me more than Donald.
And I think the Cowboys, what they need to do is they need to play run first, because I don't think their offense is that strong, and we're not going to let Dowdle beat us. So we need to bring another man up in the box, run first, stop the run, and we need to manhandle the Panthers and make another statement this week that hey, our defense is getting better, because you are right. This game has everything written for the Panthers to be a trap game for the Cowboys. If we lose this game, it's because it's a trap game. There is no reason why Dak Prescott does not continue to play the way he is playing. His confidence is at an almost high right now. I am so proud of Dak Prescott, and so proud that he is our quarterback, because
this is so different than last year.
What?
The Dallas offense, total offense yards per game, were ranked 1 in the NFL.
The Dallas Cowboy defense only has to get better, in my opinion, is somewhere and find themselves somewhere in the middle of the pack. We cannot score 50 points a game and think we're going to win and beat good teams, but we can score 30 points against good teams and play middle of the line defense and win games.
Why don't we make a move right now in the season to get somebody to bring him in to make that defense better?
We had guys coming back from injured reserve. We're playing okay football.
To me, I think with those draft picks, we traded Parsons to get Kenny Clark to help that run defense, but you also took those picks to invest in that defense this season. We're going to invest in the draft, and we can probably make a move in midseason. And he said it. Once we get past the Panthers, we got the Broncos, the Commanders, and once we get past those two teams, it's the Chiefs. We got a lot of hard Lions, Eagles. It's going to get tough and tougher as we go on. We have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL, so you have to win the next 3 or 4 games to be a playoff contender going into after the trade deadline.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting and contributing to the conversation by making your comments down below. Maybe we'll talk about your comments next week. So please come back, tune in again next week.